A teacher stands by a Mafia boss's paralyzed son when he falls on stage in front of hundreds of people, and the entire moment goes viral. But this wasn't just a fall. This was a 10-year-old boy who hasn't walked since the night his mother died in a mysterious car crash, a boy everyone whispers about, a boy whose father is one of the most feared men in the city. She refuses to walk away, even when the world laughs at them both, even when she's warned to stay away from the family, because she discovers something no one else sees, a devastating secret about why he really can't walk, and a truth about his mother's death that could destroy everything. As she fights to help him take his first steps, she uncovers a past darker than she ever imagined, and now she must make an impossible choice. Will her faith be enough to heal a child broken by guilt and trauma? Can forgiveness really overcome a father's deadly mistakes? And what happens when one teacher's refusal to give up changes not just one boy's life, but an entire community's understanding of what miracles really look like? I stand at the threshold of my new classroom, my hands trembling. The early morning light filters through dusty windows. I am Eleanor Brooks, and today, everything changes. My breath catches as I step inside. The room smells of old chalk and forgotten promises. I'm 32 years old, and this is my 7th teaching position in 5 years. Financial struggles have chased me across state lines, but I refuse to give up. St. Agnes Elementary School is small and quiet. The suburban community here is nothing like the cities I've known. I smooth down my dress and pray silently, Lord, let me make a difference here. The children begin arriving at 8:15. They file in with backpacks and nervous smiles. I count them, 23 students in total. 22 cluster near the front desks. One sits alone in the back corner. His name is Matteo Russo. I know this from the attendance sheet. He is 10 years old and confined to a wheelchair. His pale face is turned toward the window. His dark hair falls across his forehead. He does not look at me when I call roll. Matteo, I say his name gently. He does not respond. The other children whisper behind their hands. I hear fragments of their words. Gangster. His dad. Don't talk to him. Eleanor felt afraid, but I walk toward him anyway. My footsteps echo in the sudden silence. Good morning, Matteo, I say softly. I'm Miss Brooks. His eyes find mine for just a moment. They are brown and sad, and full of something I cannot name. Then he looks away. Would you like to join us at the front? I ask. He shakes his head. His voice is barely a whisper. No, thank you. I want to press further, but I sense his fear. Instead, I smile and return to my desk. Something shifted in his expression when I spoke. Just a flicker, but it was there. The morning passes slowly. I teach reading and mathematics. The children are kind but distracted. They keep glancing at Matteo. He sits perfectly still, his hands folded in his lap. He does not participate when I ask questions. During recess, I watch from the doorway. The other children run and play. Matteo remains inside, staring at his notebook. I notice he is drawing something. When I move closer, he covers it quickly. That's beautiful, I say, catching a glimpse of trees and birds. It's nothing, he whispers. It doesn't look like nothing to me. His jaw tightens. I see tears forming at the corners of his eyes. My chest tightens with sudden understanding. This child carries a weight too heavy for his small shoulders. At 3 o'clock, the school day ends. Parents arrive in minivans and sedans. I help the children gather their belongings. Matteo waits quietly by the door. He does not call out goodbye like the others. Then I see them. 2 men in dark suits approach the building. Their faces are hard and expressionless. They move like soldiers, not parents. My breath catches. They enter the classroom without knocking. One of them nods at me. Miss Brooks? Yes. My voice is steady despite my fear. We're here for Matteo. They do not explain further. Matteo wheels himself forward without protest. I follow them outside, unsure why. Perhaps because something feels wrong. Perhaps because this boy needs someone to care. A black limousine waits at the curb. The door opens and I see him. Vincent Russo. I recognize him from news articles and whispered warnings. The infamous former Mafia boss. The man everyone fears. His eyes find mine through the open door. They are cold and dark and haunted. Eleanor felt her heart pound, but I do not look away. He watches me for a long moment. Then the door closes. The limousine pulls away. I stand on the sidewalk, wondering what I have gotten myself into. The next morning I arrive early. The other teachers are already in the break room. I pour myself coffee and sit at the corner table. Their conversation stops when I enter. Eleanor, one of them says carefully, we heard about your new student. Matteo, I ask. What about him? The silence stretches. Finally, Mrs. Henderson speaks. She is 60 years old with silver hair and tired eyes. His father is Vincent Russo. I know, I say quietly. Then you know his reputation. Her voice is tense. The Russo family is dangerous. Matteo is a child, I say firmly. Children are never dangerous. Mrs. Henderson shakes her head. His mother died last year. Car accident. Some say it wasn't an accident at all. She leans closer. After that, Matteo stopped walking. The doctors found nothing physically wrong. They say it's psychological. My stomach twists. Eleanor felt a surge of anger. Not at the teachers, but at the cruelty of the world. A child loses his mother and his ability to walk, and people call him dangerous. Thank you for telling me, I say softly, but I don't believe in giving up on children. Mrs. Henderson sighs. Just be careful, Eleanor. No one crosses the Russo family, not even us. During class that day, I noticed the children whispering again. Tommy Sullivan, a freckled boy with a loud voice, calls Matteo mob boy when he thinks I cannot hear. I stop mid-sentence. Tommy, I say sharply. What did you just say? His face turns red. Nothing, Miss Brooks. Lying makes it worse. I walk toward his desk. Apologize to Matteo. But now, Tommy's jaw tightens. He looks at Matteo and mutters, Sorry, it is not sincere, but it is a start. The room falls silent. I return to the front and continue teaching. My voice is calm, but my hands are shaking. Something shifted in the children's eyes. They realize I will protect Matteo, whether they like it or not. At the end of class, Matteo waits until everyone leaves. Then he wheels himself closer. His voice is soft. Thank you, Miss Brooks. Eleanor felt tears sting her eyes, but I blink them away. You're welcome, Matteo. Why do you care? He asks. His brown eyes search my face. Because you deserve kindness, I say simply. Everyone does. He looks down at his hands. My mom used to say that. She sounds like a wise woman. She was. His voice breaks. She died because of me. My breath catches. I kneel beside his wheelchair. Matteo, listen to me. Whatever happened, it was not your fault. He shakes his head. Tears stream down his cheeks. You don't understand. Then help me understand. But he will not speak. He wheels himself toward the door. I watch him go, my heart breaking. This child blames himself for something beyond his control, and I do not know how to save him. Wednesday brings physical education class. The children line up in the gymnasium. Coach Martin, a broad-shouldered man with kind eyes, greets them warmly. Then he sees Matteo. Miss Brooks, he says quietly. Should Matteo sit out? Ask him, I say firmly. Coach Martin approaches Matteo's wheelchair. You want to participate, son? Matteo nods. I have a walker. I want to try. The children exchange glances. I see doubt on their faces, but I also see something else, curiosity, perhaps even admiration. Matteo's walker is brought from the storage room. It is silver and sturdy. He grips the handles tightly. His knuckles turn white. I stand nearby, ready to catch him if he falls. He lifts himself slowly. His legs shake beneath him. Sweat beads on his forehead. The children watch in silence. Then he takes one trembling step, and another, and another. 5 steps total before his strength gives out. He stumbles backward. I catch him before he hits the ground. My arms wrap around his thin shoulders. That is when the laughter starts. High-pitched and cruel. Tommy Sullivan is the loudest. Look at Mob Boy! He can't even walk! Eleanor felt rage flood through her veins. I lower Matteo gently into his wheelchair. Then I turn to face the children. My voice is quiet, dangerously quiet. Stop laughing. Now. They fall silent. But the damage is done. Matteo's face is red with shame. His breath catches in small gasps. I kneel beside him. You were brave today, I whisper. So very brave. I failed, he says. No, you tried. That's what matters. But he will not look at me. Something shifted in his expression. The small spark of hope I saw earlier has died. I want to scream at the children. I want to shake them until they understand what they have done. Instead, I stay beside Matteo. My hand rests gently on his shoulder. He does not pull away. That evening I prepare lesson plans at my kitchen table. My apartment is small and cramped. The heat is broken again. I wrap a blanket around my shoulders and try to focus, but my mind keeps returning to Matteo. The phone rings at 7:30. It is Principal Lawrence. His voice is tense. Eleanor, we need to talk. About what? Vincent Russo contacted the school today. He pauses. He wants to meet with you tomorrow morning. My stomach drops. Why? I don't know. But when Vincent Russo asks for a meeting, you show up. I hang up the phone. My hands are trembling again. Eleanor felt afraid, more afraid than I have ever been. But I will not run, not when Matteo needs me. The principal's office smells of old coffee and paper. I arrive at 8 o'clock sharp. Principal Lawrence paces near the window. His grey suit is wrinkled. His eyes are worried. Eleanor, listen carefully, he says. Just agree with whatever he says. Don't argue, don't. The door opens. Vincent Russo enters. He wears a black suit that costs more than my monthly rent. 2 bodyguards flank him. The air in the room changes. It grows cold and heavy. The silence stretches. Vincent's eyes find mine. He studies me for a long moment. Then he nods to his guards. They step outside and close the door. Miss Brooks, he says. His voice is deep and controlled. Thank you for meeting with me. Of course, Mr. Russo. My voice is steadier than I expected. He sits in the chair across from Principal Lawrence's desk. He does not invite me to sit, but I lower myself into a chair anyway. Something shifted in his expression. Surprise. Maybe even respect. My son spoke about you yesterday, he says. That is unusual. Matteo does not speak about anyone. He's a wonderful boy, I say honestly. He's broken. Vincent's jaw tightens. The doctors say there's nothing physically wrong with him, but he won't walk. He won't try. He tried yesterday, I say quietly. In PE class. Vincent's eyes narrow. I know. I heard what happened. Of course he did. This man probably knows everything that happens within a mile of his son. I meet his gaze directly. Eleanor felt her heart pound. Mr. Russo, your son is not broken. He's hurting. Then fix him. I'm not a therapist, but you care. His voice softens slightly. That's more than anyone else has offered. The silence hangs between us. I realize what he is asking. What he cannot bring himself to say. He wants me to save his son, because he does not know how. I need you to tutor Matteo after school, Vincent says. Private lessons. I'll pay you double your salary. I shake my head. I don't want your money, Mr. Russo. His eyes widen slightly. Everyone wants my money. Not me. I lean forward. If I help Matteo, it will be because he deserves it, not because you paid me. Vincent studies me for a long moment. Then something shifts in his eyes. The coldness melts just a fraction. He stands and buttons his suit jacket. You're either the bravest woman I've met, he says slowly, or the dumbest. I smile softly. Maybe I'm just a teacher who believes. He nods once. Then he leaves without another word. The bodyguards follow. Principal Lawrence stares at me like I have lost my mind. Eleanor, what have you done? Something right, I whisper. I hope. The first private lesson takes place Thursday afternoon. The classroom is empty except for Matteo and me. Sunlight streams through the windows. I pull a chair close to his wheelchair. What do you want to learn today? I ask. He shrugs. I don't care. Then I'll choose. I pull out a book from my bag. This is about a boy who learns to fly. People can't fly, Matteo says flatly, not with their bodies, but with their hearts. Yes, always. I begin reading aloud. The story is about a child who loses his parents. He is sent to live with his grandmother. She teaches him that courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing love despite fear. Matteo listens in silence. His hands grip the armrests of his wheelchair. When I finish the first chapter, he looks at me. Do you really believe that? He asks. About courage? Yes, I say simply. My mom believed that too. His voice breaks. She told me to run that night, but I didn't. I froze, and she died. Eleanor felt tears sting her eyes. Matteo, what night? The night of the accident. He stares at his lap. There were men, bad men. Mum said run, but I was scared. I hid instead, and then the car crashed. My breath catches. This child has been carrying this guilt for over a year. He blames himself for his mother's death, and that blame has stolen his ability to walk. I reach out slowly. My hand covers his. Matteo, you were a child. You are still a child. It was not your responsibility to save her. But, listen to me. My voice is firm. Your mother would not want you to carry this. She would want you to live, to laugh, to walk. He shakes his head. Tears stream down his face. I pull him into my arms. He sobs against my shoulder. The sound is heartbreaking and raw. We sit like that for a long time. I whisper prayers over him. I tell him he is loved. I tell him he is forgiven. When he finally pulls away, his eyes are red. But something has shifted. The tiniest crack has appeared in the wall around his heart. That night I write in my journal. The words flow quickly. I think he doesn't need therapy. He needs forgiveness. Forgiveness for something that was never his fault. The next week begins quietly. Matteo participates more in class. He raises his hand twice during reading. He smiles when I praise his drawing. Small victories, but victories nonetheless. On Friday afternoon, I try something new. During our private session, I ask him to wiggle his toes. Just his toes. Nothing more. "I can't," he says. "Try anyway, for me." He closes his eyes, his face scrunches in concentration. I watch his feet beneath the desk. At first, nothing happens. Then, his big toe twitches. Just once. Barely visible, but real. Eleanor's breath caught. I clap my hands together. "Matteo, did you feel that?" He opens his eyes. "Feel what?" "Your toe moved." He looks down at his feet. Confusion crosses his face. "I didn't feel anything." "That's okay. Your body is remembering. Even if your mind isn't ready yet." I hide my tears. I do not want to pressure him, but inside I am singing. "Thank you, Lord. Thank you." Later that week, while organizing Matteo's backpack, I find a folded letter. It is old and worn. The handwriting is elegant and feminine. I open it carefully. "My dearest Matteo, if you are reading this, then I am gone. I need you to know something important. Your father loves you more than life itself. He made mistakes. Terrible mistakes. But they came from a place of fear, not hate. If anything happens to me, tell Matteo to forgive his father. Only love can make him walk again. I love you forever, Mom." My hands tremble as I read the words again. Matteo does not know the full truth. He does not know that his father's criminal past caused the accident. He does not know the men who killed his mother were enemies of Vincent Russo. Should I tell him? The question burns in my mind. Eleanor felt torn. Truth without love can destroy. But lies without truth can never heal. I decide to wait, to pray, to ask for guidance. That night I call Pastor John. He is 70 years old with a gentle voice. "Eleanor, child, what troubles you?" "I found a letter." I tell him everything. "Should I show it to Matteo?" The silence stretches. Then he speaks. "Truth without love wounds deeper than lies. But love without truth is a prison. You must find the balance." "How?" "You'll know when the time is right." I hang up the phone. My heart is heavy, but I trust God's timing. I always have. 2 weeks pass. Matteo continues to improve. He takes 5 steps with his walker, then 10, then 20. Each session brings new progress. His voice grows stronger. His smile appears more often. Vincent watches from his car sometimes. I see him through the window. His face is always expressionless, but I sense his hope, the desperate, terrified hope of a father who has lost everything. One afternoon, I suggest something new. "The school is having a courage assembly next week. I think you should participate." Matteo's eyes widen. "How?" "Sing with the class, or read a poem, whatever you want." "I want to stand," he says firmly. My breath catches. "Matteo, you don't have to." "I want to." His jaw tightens. "I want everyone to see." Eleanor felt pride surge through her. "Then we'll practice, every day." We spend the next week preparing. Matteo practices standing. His legs shake. His body trembles. But he refuses to give up. His determination is fierce and beautiful. The day of the assembly arrives. The gymnasium is packed with students and parents. I stand backstage with Matteo. His walker is beside him. His face is pale. "You can do this," I whisper. "I'm scared," he admits. "Being brave means doing it anyway." His eyes find mine. He nods. The music teacher introduces him. The crowd falls silent. Matteo wheels himself onto the stage. Then he grips his walker. He pulls himself upright. The audience gasps. I hold my breath. He takes one step, then another. His legs buckle slightly, but he catches himself. 5 steps total. Then he reaches the microphone. He begins to sing. His voice is thin but clear. A song his mother used to sing, about hope and light and love. And then it happens. His legs give out completely. He falls hard. The walker crashes beside him. The audience erupts in laughter. Cruel, mocking laughter. Eleanor felt rage and heartbreak collide. I rush onto the stage. "Stop laughing!" My voice echoes through the gymnasium. "Stop!" I kneel beside Matteo. I take his hand. Tears stream down his face. Someone in the audience is recording on their phone. I see the camera pointed at us. "You were so brave," I whisper to Matteo. "So incredibly brave." But the damage is done. The laughter continues. Something shifted in Matteo's eyes. The light goes out. The hope dies. That night, the video goes viral. I watch it on my phone. Comments flood the screen. Pathetic. Why did they let him try? Poor kid. This is so sad. My phone buzzes with calls and texts. Reporters want interviews. Strangers send messages. Some supportive, most cruel. I replay the video. I see Matteo's determination, his courage, his fall, and I see myself rushing to his side. My face is fierce and protective. The world sees failure, but I see something else. I see a boy who refused to give up, a teacher who refused to let him fall alone. And in that moment I make a vow. No matter what happens, I will not abandon Matteo Russo, even if the whole world laughs, even if I lose everything. Eleanor felt certain. This story is not over, not even close. My phone buzzes at 6 in the morning. I ignore it. Then it buzzes again, and again. Eleanor felt exhausted. I have barely slept. The video replays in my mind on an endless loop. I finally check my messages, 53 notifications, emails from reporters, texts from strangers, comments from people I have never met. Most are cruel. Some are kind. All of them make me feel exposed. Teacher humiliates disabled child. One headline reads, "Viral video shows boy's heartbreaking fall." Another says, I close my phone. My hands are shaking. I get dressed slowly. Navy blue dress, simple shoes. I braid my hair and stare at my reflection. The woman looking back seems older than yesterday. The drive to school is quiet. I arrive early, hoping to avoid attention. But reporters wait in the parking lot. Cameras point at me as I exit my car. Questions fly from all directions. Miss Brooks, do you regret encouraging Matteo to stand? Was this a publicity stunt? How does the Russo family feel about the incident? I push through without answering. My chest tightens. The school hallway feels like a tunnel. I reach my classroom and close the door. The silence stretches. Then I sink into my chair and cry. At 8 o'clock, Principal Lawrence summons me to his office. The school board members are present. 5 stern faces stare at me from across the conference table. Miss Brooks, Mrs. Chen, the board president, begins. Her voice is cold. We've received numerous complaints about yesterday's assembly. Complaints? I ask carefully. Parents are concerned about your judgment. She slides a folder across the table. Some believe you pushed Matteo Russo too hard. Others question your methods entirely. Eleanor felt anger rise in her throat, but I swallow it down. Matteo chose to participate. I supported his decision. A decision that resulted in public humiliation. Another board member says, his name is Mr. Thompson. For both the child and this school, he was brave, I say firmly. The humiliation came from people who laughed at his courage. Nevertheless, Mrs. Chen continues, we must consider the school's reputation. We're asking you to cease all private tutoring with Matteo Russo. No, the word escapes before I can stop it. The room falls silent. Principal Lawrence's eyes widen. Mrs. Chen's jaw tightens. Miss Brooks, this is not a request. Then fire me. My voice is steady now. But I won't abandon that child. Mrs. Chen closes the folder. We'll discuss this matter further. You're dismissed. I leave the office. My legs feel weak. I have never defied authority like this before. But something has changed inside me. Matteo needs me, and I refuse to let fear dictate my choices. At noon, a black limousine pulls up to the school. Vincent Russo steps out. His face is hard and unreadable. He strides toward the main entrance. Teachers scatter like birds. Principal Lawrence intercepts him in the hallway. I watch from my classroom doorway. Vincent's voice is low but intense. I cannot hear the words, but I see Principal Lawrence nod repeatedly. Then Vincent turns. His eyes find mine across the crowded hallway. Something shifted in his expression. He walks toward me. The other teachers press themselves against the walls. Miss Brooks, he says quietly, we need to talk. Of course, Mr. Russo. He gestures toward my empty classroom. We enter together. He closes the door behind us. His jaw tightens as he faces me. I saw the video, he says. His voice is tight with emotion. The whole world saw it. Eleanor felt her heart sink. I'm sorry. I never meant for... You stayed beside him, Vincent interrupts. When everyone laughed, you stayed. I blink in surprise. Of course I did. Why? His eyes search my face. You owe us nothing. This circus could destroy your career, yet you defended my son in front of cameras. Because it was right, I say simply. The silence hangs between us. Vincent turns away. His shoulders sag slightly. When he speaks again, his voice is barely a whisper. My son hasn't laughed in over a year. But yesterday morning before the assembly, he smiled. He told me he was excited. Excited. Vincent's breath catches. Do you understand what that means? Yes, I whisper. Then you understand why I'm here. He faces me again. The school board wants you to stop tutoring Matteo. I'm here to make a different offer. What offer? Come to my home, tutor him there, every day after school. I'll provide transportation, security, anything you need. My hands tremble. Eleanor felt torn. Entering the Russo mansion means stepping deeper into this dangerous world. But leaving Matteo alone means abandoning hope. I need to think about it, I say. Don't think too long. His voice is firm. That boy needs you, more than he needs anyone. Vincent leaves without waiting for my response. I stand alone in my classroom. The afternoon sun casts long shadows across the floor. I close my eyes and pray, Lord, show me the way. Give me courage. Don't let me fail this child. The answer comes quietly, not in words but in certainty. I know what I must do. That evening I call Vincent's number. He answers on the first ring. I'll do it, I say. I'll tutor Matteo at your home. Thank you. His voice is thick with emotion. My driver will pick you up tomorrow at 3:30. I hang up the phone. My apartment feels smaller than before. I pack my teaching materials carefully. Books about courage and hope, worksheets for reading and math, and a small Bible my grandmother gave me years ago. Sleep does not come easily, but when it finally does, I dream of Matteo walking, not falling, just walking. The next afternoon, a black car waits outside St. Agnes Elementary. The driver is a broad-shouldered man named Marcus. His voice is polite. Miss Brooks, Mr. Russo is expecting you. The drive takes 20 minutes. We pass through iron gates into a different world. The Russo estate sprawls across manicured lawns. Marble statues line the driveway. The mansion itself is massive and intimidating. Eleanor's breath caught. I have never seen wealth like this. My entire apartment could fit in the entryway. Vincent meets me at the front door. He wears casual clothes today, dark jeans and a grey sweater. Somehow he looks more dangerous this way, more human. Thank you for coming, he says. Where's Matteo? The sunroom. Follow me. We walk through halls lined with expensive paintings. I try not to stare. Then we reach a bright room filled with plants and windows. Matteo sits in his wheelchair near a grand piano. His face lights up when he sees me. Miss Brooks! His voice is excited. You came. Of course I did. I kneel beside him. How are you feeling? Better now. He looks at his father nervously. Dad said you'll teach me here every day. If that's okay with you. It's perfect. Something shifted in his eyes. Hope returns. Small, but real. Vincent watches us from the doorway. His expression is unreadable. Then he nods and leaves quietly. Matteo and I begin our lesson. The first week at the Russo mansion is strange. The house is beautiful but cold. Staff members move silently through the halls. Vincent's sister, Maria, watches me with suspicion. She is 40 years old with sharp features and expensive clothes. Her voice is clipped. You're the teacher everyone's talking about. I suppose I am, I say carefully. My brother thinks you're some kind of savior. Maria crosses her arms. I think you're a charity case looking for a payout. Eleanor felt anger spark, but I keep my voice level. I don't want money, Mrs. Russo. It's Maria, and everyone wants something. She walks away before I can respond. I stand alone in the marble hallway. My reflection stares back at me from a gold-framed mirror. I look small and out of place, but I refuse to leave. Matteo needs consistency, and I promise to help him. The sessions in the sunroom become our sanctuary. Matteo opens up slowly. He tells me about his mother's favorite songs, how she used to dance in the kitchen, how her laugh sounded like music. She played piano every night, he says softly. This piano. I haven't touched it since she died. Would you like to try? I ask. He shakes his head. I can't. My legs won't reach the pedals. You don't need pedals to make music. I help him position his wheelchair. His thin fingers hover over the keys. Then he presses one note, then another. A simple melody emerges, tentative and beautiful. Tears stream down his face, but he keeps playing. The song fills the sunroom. It spills into the hallway. I hear footsteps approaching. Vincent appears in the doorway. His eyes are wet. He stands perfectly still, listening. When Matteo finishes, the silence stretches. Then Vincent speaks. Your mother would be proud. Matteo looks at his father. Something passes between them. Understanding, perhaps. Or the beginning of healing. Vincent's jaw tightens. He turns and walks away quickly. That night, Eleanor felt hope bloom in her chest. We are making progress, slowly, but it is real. 2 weeks later, I introduce music therapy into our sessions. I play recordings of Matteo's mother singing. His body responds instinctively. His foot begins tapping to the rhythm. At first, I think it is my imagination, but then it happens again. His toe moves visibly, up and down, following the beat. "Matteo," I whisper, "look at your foot." He glances down, his eyes widen in shock. "I'm moving it?" "Yes, you are." He tries to move it deliberately. Nothing happens. But when the music plays, the tapping returns. Unconscious, natural, beautiful. I call Vincent immediately. He arrives within minutes. His face is tense with hope. "Show me." I restart the music. We both watch Matteo's foot. The tapping begins again. Vincent drops to his knees. His hands cover his mouth. His breath comes in ragged gasps. "My boy," he whispers. "My beautiful boy." Eleanor's breath caught. I witness something sacred. A father's love breaking through years of guilt and grief. Matteo reaches out. His small hand touches Vincent's shoulder. "Dad, don't cry. These are happy tears." Vincent's voice is thick, so very happy. That night, I drive home in the black car. My heart feels full. Marcus, the driver, catches my eye in the rearview mirror. "You're good for them, Miss Brooks," he says quietly. "The boss hasn't smiled in over a year, not until you came." "I'm just doing my job." "No, ma'am. You're doing God's work." The next morning, my phone explodes with notifications again. But this time, the messages are different. Maria has posted a video clip of Matteo's foot tapping. It has gone viral. Thousands of shares, millions of views, comments flood in from around the world. "This is a miracle. That teacher is incredible. Keep fighting, Matteo." I stare at my screen in disbelief. Eleanor felt overwhelmed. The attention is intense and sudden, but this time it is filled with hope rather than mockery. Vincent calls at 7 in the morning. His voice is tense. "Have you seen the video?" "Yes." "Maria posted it without permission." He pauses. "But the response is extraordinary. People are sending letters, donations, prayers." "What does Matteo think?" "He's confused and a little scared. The attention is overwhelming." "Then we focus on him," I say firmly. "Not the cameras, not the world, just Matteo." "Agreed." Vincent's voice softens. "Eleanor, thank you for everything." He has never used my first name before. Something shifted in our relationship. We are no longer just teacher and parent. We are allies in this fight for Matteo's healing. The media attention brings complications. Reporters camp outside the Russo mansion. Police take renewed interest in Vincent's past. Detective Morrison, a sharp-eyed woman in her 40s, visits the estate. I am present during the interview. She asks about Matteo's progress, about my teaching methods. Her questions seem innocent, but I sense something beneath them. "Miss Brooks," she says carefully, "do you know how Mrs. Russo died?" "A car accident," I answer. "Yes, but do you know the circumstances?" Vincent's jaw tightens. "That's enough, Detective. I'm just concerned for the child's welfare." Detective Morrison's eyes narrow. "And for Miss Brooks's safety." "I'm perfectly safe," I say firmly. "Are you?" She slides a folder across the table. "Vincent Russo's past is violent. The men who killed his wife were rival gang members. Some might say he brought that violence to his family's doorstep." Eleanor felt her stomach twist, but I keep my voice steady. "The past is the past. We're focused on Matteo's future." Detective Morrison stands. "Just be careful, Miss Brooks. Sometimes compassion makes us blind to danger." She leaves. Vincent and I sit in heavy silence. His hands are clenched into fists. His breathing is labored. "She's right," he finally says. "I brought death to my family. My wife paid the price." "Vincent." "No." His voice is sharp. "You should know the truth. Those men came for me. They wanted to hurt me, so they killed her, and Matteo saw it happen." My breath catches. "He was there?" "In the back seat. He couldn't run. He was frozen with fear, and he's blamed himself ever since." Tears sting my eyes. Eleanor felt heartbreak wash over her. This child has carried unspeakable trauma, and his father has carried matching guilt. "Does Matteo know?" I ask quietly. "That they were your enemies?" Vincent shakes his head. "I've never told him. I couldn't bear for him to hate me more than he already does." "He doesn't hate you." "He should." Vincent's voice breaks. "I destroyed our family. I destroyed him." I reach across the table. My hand covers his. "Then rebuild it. Starting now. Starting with truth." But Vincent pulls away. His eyes are cold again. The truth would kill him. Lies are killing him faster. He stands and leaves without another word. I sit alone in the study. The weight of secrets presses down on me. Eleanor felt torn between truth and mercy. During our next session, Mateo asks a question that changes everything. "Miss Brooks, why did those men kill my mom?" My chest tightens. "What makes you ask that?" I heard the detective talking. His voice is small. "She said they were bad men, that they wanted to hurt Dad." I close my eyes. Lord, give me wisdom. Sometimes people make choices that hurt others. Your mother was caught in something terrible, but it wasn't your fault. Was it Dad's fault? His eyes search mine. The silence stretches. I cannot lie, but I cannot destroy this fragile healing either. Your father made mistakes, but he loves you more than anything. That's not an answer. Mateo's jaw tightens. Everyone treats me like I'm stupid, but I remember things. I remember Dad yelling at those men. I remember them saying his name. Eleanor's breath caught. "Mateo, just tell me the truth." His voice rises. "Did Dad's enemies kill Mum?" I stare at this brave, broken child. He deserves honesty, even if it hurts. "Yes," I whisper. "They did." Mateo's face crumples. His breath comes in gasps. Then he screams, a sound of pure anguish. He wheels himself away from me. His hands push against the wheels frantically. "Mateo, wait!" I chase after him, but he is fast. He crashes through the sunroom doors into the garden. Vincent appears from nowhere. He catches Mateo's wheelchair before it tips over. "What happened?" Vincent demands. Mateo looks at his father with eyes full of betrayal. "You killed her. It's your fault Mom is dead." Vincent staggers backward. His face goes pale. Something shifted in his expression. The careful mask he wears cracks completely. "Mateo, Don't!" Mateo's voice is raw. "Don't talk to me. I hate you." He wheels himself inside. A staff member guides him toward his room. Vincent stands frozen in the garden. His hands shake. His breath comes in ragged gasps. I approach him carefully. "Vincent, I'm sorry." He asked me directly. I couldn't lie. "Yes, you could have." His voice is flat. "You should have. Children deserve truth. Children deserve protection." He spins to face me. His eyes are wild with grief. "You just destroyed what little relationship we had left. Or you did," I say softly. "Years ago, when you chose that life." Vincent's hand rises. For a moment, I think he will strike me. Eleanor felt fear spike through her veins. But instead, he strikes his own face, hard. The sound echoes through the garden. "You're right." His voice breaks. "I destroyed everything. And I can't fix it." He walks toward the mansion. Then he stops. "Don't come back tomorrow, Miss Brooks. You're done here." He disappears inside. I stand alone in the garden. The evening air is cold. My legs feel weak. I have just lost everything. The next morning I do not receive a call. No car comes to pick me up. At school, Principal Lawrence informs me the Russo family has terminated our arrangement. "Perhaps it's for the best," he says carefully. But Eleanor felt her heart shatter. "Nothing about this is for the best. Mateo needs me, and I have abandoned him. I teach my classes in a daze. The children seem distant, unreal. At lunch, I sit alone in my classroom. Tears stream down my face. I have failed. Failed Mateo. Failed Vincent. Failed myself. That evening, I drive past the Russo mansion. The gates are closed. No lights shine in the windows. The entire estate looks dark and dead. I return home. My apartment feels emptier than ever. I open my Bible to a random page. The words blur through my tears, but one verse catches my eye. "Be still and know that I am God." Eleanor's breath caught. Perhaps I've been trying too hard to fix everything. Perhaps healing requires surrender, not just from Mateo and Vincent, but from me too. I close my eyes and pray, not for solutions, just for peace. Days pass, then a week. I hear nothing from the Russo family. At school, the children ask about Mateo. I tell them he is receiving private care. They accept this without question, but I cannot accept it. I call Vincent's number 3 times. He never answers. I send messages. They go unread. Maria blocks my calls entirely. I am shut out completely, and Mateo is alone. On Friday evening, I sit at my kitchen table surrounded by unpaid bills, medical debt from my grandmother's final years, student loans, rent. The numbers blur together. Without the teaching job at the mansion, I am drowning financially, but the money does not matter. Not really. What matters is the silence. The not knowing, the fear that Matteo has given up entirely. Pastor John visits that night. He brings soup and bread. We sit together in my small living room. His old eyes are kind. "You look troubled, child." I failed him. My voice breaks. "I told Matteo the truth and destroyed everything." "Did you lie?" "No." "Then you did not fail." Pastor John's hand covers mine. "Truth plants seeds, but God determines the harvest. What if the seed dies? Then God will plant another." He smiles gently. "But I don't think this seed is dead. I think it's just growing in the dark, as all seeds do." His words comfort me, but Eleanor felt hopeless. The darkness feels endless, and I have no light to offer. I wake up on Monday morning and cannot move, not physically, but emotionally. Eleanor felt empty. The weight of the past weeks presses down like concrete. I call in sick to school. The day passes in silence. I sit by my window watching the world move. Cars drive past, people walk their dogs. Life continues for everyone else, but mine feels suspended. By Tuesday, I force myself to return to work. The children seem smaller somehow. Their problems feel distant. Tommy Sullivan talks back during reading. I barely notice. Mrs. Henderson asks if I am feeling well. I lie and say yes. That night, I open my grandmother's Bible. The pages are worn and soft. Her handwriting fills the margins. Notes about faith and perseverance. One passage is circled in red ink. "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." I trace the words with my finger. Eleanor's breath caught. Grandmother believed this with her whole heart. She lived through poverty and racism and loss. Yet she never stopped believing, never stopped fighting. Can I do the same? Can I find strength when mine is gone? The answer comes quietly. Not yet, but maybe soon. On Wednesday afternoon, Pastor John calls. His voice is gentle. "Eleanor, I heard about the Russo family. The boy has stopped eating." My stomach drops. "How do you know?" "Their family doctor attends my church. He's concerned. Matteo is refusing all food. He barely speaks." "And Vincent?" "Locked in his study for days." The staff is worried. I close my eyes. Something shifted in my chest. The emptiness transforms into resolve. I cannot abandon them. Not like this, even if they have abandoned me. "Thank you for telling me," I say quietly. "What will you do?" "I don't know yet, but something." I hang up the phone. My hands are trembling. Eleanor felt afraid, but fear no longer paralyzes me. Instead, it propels me forward. I grab my coat and keys. Then I drive toward the Russo mansion. The gates are closed when I arrive. I press the intercom button. Static crackles. Then a voice. "The Russo family is not accepting visitors. This is Eleanor Brooks. I need to see Vincent. It's urgent." "I'm sorry, ma'am, my orders are clear." "Then give him a message. Tell him I'm not leaving until he sees me." The intercom goes silent. I wait in my car. Minutes pass. Then an hour. The sun begins to set. Still, I wait. My jaw tightens. I will not give up. Not this time. Finally, the gates open. Marcus, the driver, walks toward my car. His face is tired. "Miss Brooks, Mr. Russo says you should go home." "I won't." My voice is firm. "Not until I speak with him. He's not in a good state. Neither is his son." Marcus studies me for a long moment. Then something shifts in his expression. "Follow me, but don't say I didn't warn you." We walk through the mansion. The hallways feel darker than before, colder. The staff members we pass avoid eye contact. They move like ghosts through a haunted house. We reach Vincent's study. Marcus knocks. No answer. He knocks again. "Go away!" Vincent's voice is rough, broken. "Sir, Miss Brooks is here. She insists on seeing you. Tell her to leave." I push past Marcus. My hand turns the doorknob. The door is unlocked. I step inside. The room is dim and smells of alcohol. Vincent sits behind his desk. Empty bottles surround him. His face is unshaven. His eyes are bloodshot. Eleanor felt her heart break. This powerful man looks destroyed, utterly broken. "I told you to leave," he says flatly. "And I told you I won't." I close the door behind me. "Not until we talk." "There's nothing to talk about. Your son is starving himself. You're drowning in a bottle. That seems like plenty to talk about." Vincent laughs bitterly. "You think talking will fix this? You destroyed what little we had left." "No." My voice is steady. "You destroyed it years ago. I just forced you to face it." His jaw tightens. He stands unsteadily. His hands grip the edge of the desk. "You know nothing about my life, about my choices, about what I've sacrificed. Then tell me." I step closer. "Tell me everything." The silence stretches between us. Vincent's breath comes in ragged gasps. His shoulders shake. Then he speaks. The words pour out like poison from a wound. I was 25 when I joined the family business. My father said it was honor, protection, but it was just violence dressed in loyalty. His voice is raw. I killed men, ruined families, built an empire on fear. Eleanor felt tears sting her eyes, but I remained silent, listening. Then I met Isabella. She was light in my darkness, pure and kind. She believed I could change. So I tried. I retired, moved away, built a legitimate business. We had Matteo. For 7 years, I thought I'd escaped. His hands tremble. He reaches for another bottle. I move quickly and take it from him. No more, I say softly. He looks at me with hollow eyes. They found me anyway. My old enemies. They wanted revenge. So they followed Isabella, ran her car off the road. Matteo was in the back seat. He saw everything. Vincent, I built my world on fear, he interrupts. His voice cracks. And my wife paid the price. My son paid the price. Now he knows the truth, and he'll never forgive me. He collapses into his chair. His face falls into his hands. His shoulders shake with silent sobs. I kneel beside him. My hand rests gently on his arm. Vincent, look at me. He does not respond. Eleanor's breath caught. I realize something profound. This man needs forgiveness just as much as his son does, perhaps more. You built your world on fear, I say quietly. Then build this one on love. It's too late. It's never too late. My voice is firm. But you have to fight for it. You have to show Matteo that courage means admitting when you're wrong. He hates me. No, he's hurt. There's a difference. I stand and pull him to his feet. He doesn't need a king, Vincent. He doesn't need your money or your power. He needs his father, the real one, broken and humble and honest. Vincent's eyes find mine. They are wet with tears. Something shifted in his expression. The walls he has built begin to crumble. I don't know how to be that person. Then learn, starting now, starting with your son. We find Matteo in his bedroom. The lights are off. He lies in bed facing the wall. Maria sits beside him. Her face is drawn with worry. He won't eat, she whispers. He won't drink. The doctor says if this continues, he'll need hospitalization. Vincent stands in the doorway. His breath comes in shallow gasps. I gently push him forward. Go to him, I whisper. Vincent approaches the bed slowly. His movements are uncertain. He sits on the edge of the mattress. His hand hovers over Matteo's shoulder, but does not touch. Son, he says quietly, we need to talk. Go away, Matteo's voice is muffled. Please, just listen. Why? So you can lie to me more? Vincent's jaw tightens. Eleanor felt the tension in the room. This moment is fragile. One wrong word could shatter everything. Vincent looks at me. I nod encouragingly. I'm not here to lie, Vincent says finally. I'm here to tell you the truth, all of it. Matteo slowly turns over. His face is pale and thin. His eyes are ringed with dark circles. What truth? That you're right. Your mother died because of my past, because I made terrible choices, because I thought I could escape consequences. Vincent's voice breaks. It was my war, not yours. Never yours. Matteo's lips quiver. Tears stream down his face. Why didn't you tell me before? Because I was ashamed and afraid. Afraid you would hate me. I do hate you. Matteo's words are like knives. Vincent flinches, but he does not look away. I know, and I deserve it, but I need you to know something else. He reaches out slowly. His hand covers Matteo's. Everything I've done since that night has been to protect you, to keep you safe, to give you the life your mother wanted for you. She wanted you to change, Matteo whispers, and I have. I closed every illegal business. I cut ties with everyone from that world. I've spent every day trying to become the man she believed I could be. Vincent's breath catches. But I can't undo the past. I can't bring her back. All I can do is beg your forgiveness and spend the rest of my life trying to earn it. The silence hangs heavy. Matteo stares at his father. Eleanor felt her heart pound. This is the moment. The crossroads where healing either begins or dies. Then Matteo speaks. 3 words that change everything. I forgive you. His voice is barely a whisper, but it echoes through the room like thunder. Vincent's face crumples. He pulls Matteo into his arms. Both of them sob, deep, wrenching sounds of pain and release. I back away quietly. Maria joins me in the hallway. Tears stream down her face. She reaches out and grabs my hand. "Thank you," she whispers, "for not giving up on them." We stand together in the dim hallway. Inside the room, father and son hold each other. The sound of their crying is heartbreaking, but also beautiful, because beneath the pain is something else. Love, pure and unbreakable. Eleanor's breath caught. Sometimes miracles look like breaking before they look like healing. That night, Matteo drinks water for the first time in 3 days. Then he eats half a bowl of soup. Vincent stays beside him. His hand never leaves his son's shoulder. The next morning, Matteo asks to sit outside. Vincent wheels him into the garden. The sunrise is golden and soft. Birds sing in the trees. I arrive at 7, unsure if I'm welcome. Marcus greets me at the door. His smile is genuine. "They're waiting for you, Miss Brooks." I find them under the willow tree. Matteo looks brighter somehow, still thin and pale but alive. Vincent's eyes meet mine. He stands and approaches. "I'm sorry," he says quietly, "for everything, for pushing you away, for blaming you. You were hurting," I say simply. "That's no excuse." His voice is firm. "You saved my son. You saved me, and I treated you like an enemy." Something shifted in his eyes. The coldness is gone. What remains is gratitude and humility. "Can you forgive me?" he asks. Eleanor felt tears well up. "Of course." He nods once. Then he returns to Matteo. I join them under the tree. We sit in comfortable silence. The morning air is cool and clean. For the first time in weeks, I feel peace. 2 days later, Matteo asks to try walking again. We are in the sunroom. Vincent and I exchange glances. Eleanor felt nervous. The last attempt ended in disaster, but Matteo's determination is clear. "Are you sure?" I ask gently. "Yes. I need to try." We help him stand. His walker is positioned carefully. Vincent stands on one side. I stand on the other. Matteo's hands grip the handles. His knuckles turn white. "One step at a time," I whisper. "You can do this." He lifts his right leg. It trembles violently. Sweat beads on his forehead, but he places it forward. 1 step. His jaw tightens. He lifts his left leg. Another step. Vincent's breath catches. His hand reaches out but does not touch. Matteo takes a 3rd step, then a 4th. His legs shake. His breathing is labored, but he continues. 5 steps. 6. 7. Then his strength gives out. Vincent catches him before he falls. He lowers Matteo gently into the wheelchair. All 3 of us are crying. "You did it," Vincent whispers. "You walked." 7 steps, Matteo says breathlessly. "That's more than last time. That's a miracle," I say softly. Eleanor felt joy flood through her. This is what faith looks like. Not perfect, not easy, but persistent, refusing to quit despite the pain. The next week brings steady progress. Matteo walks 10 steps, then 15, then 20. His confidence grows. His smile returns. Vincent watches every session with tears in his eyes, but the progress is not just physical. Father and son talk now, real conversations, about Isabella, about grief, about forgiveness. The walls between them crumble slowly but surely. One afternoon, Vincent pulls me aside. His voice is serious. "Eleanor, I need to do something for Matteo, for other children like him, but I need your help." "What do you have in mind?" "A rehabilitation center for children with disabilities. World-class facilities, the best therapists, but more than that, a place filled with hope, with faith, with people like you." My breath catches. "Vincent, it's what Isabella would have wanted." His eyes are bright. "I have the money, the resources, but I don't have the heart. You do." Eleanor felt overwhelmed. "I'm just a teacher." "You're more than that. You're proof that love heals." He pauses. "Will you help me build it?" I think of Matteo, of all the children like him. Children who need someone to believe in them, who need second chances, who need miracles. "Yes," I whisper, "I will." 3 weeks after our reconciliation, Matteo walks 50 steps without stopping. The staff applauds. Maria films it on her phone. Vincent sweeps his son into his arms. They both laugh through tears. That evening, Vincent makes an announcement. The staff gathers in the main hall. Media representatives are invited. Cameras flash. Vincent stands at a podium with Matteo beside him in his wheelchair. "I have made many mistakes in my life," Vincent begins. His voice is steady. "I have hurt people. I have chosen power over principle. But my son has taught me something. Forgiveness is stronger than fear. Love is stronger than hate." He pauses. His hand rests on Matteo's shoulder. Today, I am announcing the creation of the Russo Rehabilitation Center for Children, a place where miracles are not just hoped for, but worked for. Every day, the crowd applauds. Vincent raises his hand for silence. But this center will not bear my name. It will be called the Eleanor Brooks Rehabilitation Center, named after the woman who refused to give up on my son, who refused to give up on me. Eleanor's breath caught. I stand at the back of the room. Every eye turns toward me. My hands tremble. My throat tightens. I shake my head slightly. But Vincent continues. Miss Brooks showed me that true strength is not in dominance. It is in compassion, not in wealth, but in faith. She is the heart of this project, and I am honored to support her vision. The applause is deafening. People stand. Cameras flash. Maria appears beside me and takes my hand. Don't run, she whispers. Accept the blessing. I walk forward slowly. My legs feel weak. When I reach the podium, Vincent extends his hand. I take it. Then Matteo reaches up. I kneel beside his wheelchair. Thank you, Miss Brooks, he says softly, for believing in me. I always will, I whisper back. The grand opening is scheduled for 2 months later. In the meantime, construction begins. Vincent hires the best architects and builders. I work with therapists and educators to design programs. Every detail is carefully planned. I return to teaching at St. Agnes, but now I teach a special class for children with disabilities. The school board approved it after public pressure. Parents requested me specifically. The community that once mocked me now honors me. Mrs. Henderson apologizes one afternoon. Her voice is sincere. I was wrong about you, Eleanor. I let fear guide me. You let faith guide you. We all make mistakes, I say gently, but not everyone has the courage to correct them. She squeezes my hand. Thank you for showing us what that looks like. Eleanor felt gratitude wash over her. Redemption is not just for Vincent and Matteo. It is for everyone, including those who doubted. On a Saturday morning, 6 weeks before the opening, Vincent invites me to the construction site. The building is nearly complete. Glass walls, open spaces, natural light everywhere. It is beautiful and welcoming. Come see the therapy room, Vincent says. We walk through hallways painted in soft colors. Every room is designed with children in mind. Low counters, wide doorways, bright murals. Then we reach the main therapy room. My breath catches. One wall is covered in a massive mural. It depicts a child learning to walk. Behind the child stands a teacher with gentle hands and a warm smile. The teacher looks like me. Vincent, I whisper. This is perfect, he finishes, because that's what you are. Perfect for this mission. My eyes fill with tears. Eleanor felt humbled. I am not perfect. I am simply willing. But perhaps that is enough. Matteo appears in the doorway. He is walking. No wheelchair, no walker, just his own 2 legs, wobbly but determined. Vincent and I both gasp. Surprise, Matteo says with a grin. He walks toward us. 20 steps, 30. Then he reaches us and nearly falls. We catch him together, all 3 of us laughing and crying at once. When did this happen? I ask breathlessly. This week I wanted to surprise you. His eyes are bright with pride. I practiced every night. Vincent kisses the top of his head. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of me too, Matteo says. Then he looks at me. But I couldn't have done it without you, Miss Brooks. You taught me that walking starts in the heart. Something shifted in my chest. Eleanor felt complete. This is why I became a teacher, not for money or recognition, but for moments like this, when a child discovers their own strength. The day of the grand opening arrives. Crowds gather outside the rehabilitation center. Banners wave in the breeze. News crews set up cameras. Politicians give speeches. But none of it feels real to me. I stand backstage wearing a simple blue dress. My hands are shaking. Maria adjusts my collar. You look beautiful, she says. I feel terrified. That means you're about to do something important. She smiles. Matteo is waiting for you. I peek through the curtain. Hundreds of people fill the lawn. Matteo stands center stage. He is dressed in a suit. His posture is straight and confident. He holds a microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, he begins. His voice is clear. My name is Matteo Russo. A year ago I could not walk, I could not smile, I could not hope, but one person refused to give up on me. The crowd falls silent. Eleanor's breath caught. Matteo's eyes scan the audience. Then he looks toward the curtain, toward me. Miss Eleanor Brooks taught me that miracles are not magic, they are choices. The choice to try, the choice to forgive, the choice to believe. His voice grows stronger. She chose to believe in me when no one else would, and today I walk because of her. The audience applauds. Matteo gestures toward the stage entrance. Miss Brooks, will you join me? My legs feel like water, but I walk forward, one step at a time. The sunlight is bright. The applause is loud. But all I see is Matteo, smiling, standing, whole. He hands me a bouquet of white roses. Thank you, he whispers, for everything. I take the flowers. My throat is too tight to speak. Vincent approaches from the other side. He addresses the crowd. This center is built on one simple truth. Love heals, faith moves mountains, and one person with courage can change the world. He looks at me. Eleanor Brooks is that person for us, and we pray she will be that person for many more children. The applause swells, but I barely hear it. All I feel is gratitude, deep, overwhelming gratitude, not for the recognition, but for the journey, for the privilege of witnessing restoration. That evening, the three of us share dinner in the mansion garden. The fireflies are just beginning to appear. Matteo plays piano softly in the background, his mother's favorite song. The melody floats through the warm air. Vincent raises his glass. To second chances, to new beginnings, Maria adds. To faith, I say quietly. We clink our glasses together. Eleanor felt peace settle over her. This is what home feels like. Not a place, but a feeling, belonging, purpose, love. Matteo finishes his song and joins us at the table. His eyes sparkle with life. Miss Brooks, will you tell me a story like you used to? What kind of story? One about miracles. I smile. Once upon a time there was a boy who could not walk and a teacher who could not quit. Together, they learned that the miracle is not in the walking. It is in the faith that says, I will try again. Matteo leans against my shoulder. Vincent watches us with soft eyes. The stars begin to appear overhead, one by one, small lights in the darkness, and I realize something profound. We are all small lights, imperfect, fragile, but together we push back the darkness. Together, we create miracles. Eleanor's breath caught. This is what I was meant for. Not to save the world, but to love one child at a time, to believe when others doubt, to stand when others fall. The evening air grows cool, but none of us move. We sit together in the garden, surrounded by peace, surrounded by grace, surrounded by love that has conquered fear. And somewhere in heaven, I imagine Isabella smiling. Her son is walking, her husband is healed, and her final prayer has been answered. The Eleanor Brooks Rehabilitation Center opens its doors on a Monday morning in late September. I arrive at dawn to unlock the entrance. My hands tremble as I turn the key. This building represents everything I have fought for, everything I have believed in. The lobby is quiet and pristine. Sunlight streams through the glass walls. The mural of the child learning to walk stretches across the far wall. I stand before it and whisper a prayer. Lord, let this place be a sanctuary. Let every child who enters find hope. By 8 o'clock, the first families arrive. Parents push wheelchairs through the automatic doors. Children with crutches and walkers follow. Their eyes are wide with curiosity and fear. Eleanor felt her chest tighten. I remember that fear. I see it every day in Matteo's old photographs. But I also see something else. Possibility. These children are here because they believe change is possible. Their parents are here because they refuse to give up. And I am here because God put me here. Good morning, I say warmly to the first mother. Welcome to Eleanor Brooks Center. She smiles through tears. Thank you, we've been waiting months for this. Her daughter is 7 years old, cerebral palsy, bright eyes and a shy smile. I kneel beside her wheelchair. What's your name? Emma, she whispers. Emma, that's beautiful. Would you like to see the therapy room? She nods eagerly. I push her wheelchair through the hallways. Other families follow. We gather in the main therapy room. Vincent stands at the front. Matteo beside him. No wheelchair. Just standing on his own 2 feet. Vincent's voice is warm as he addresses the group. Welcome to your new home. This is not just a building. It is a promise. A promise that you are not alone. That your struggles matter. That your victories will be celebrated. Matteo steps forward. His smile is confident. I know what it feels like to believe you will never walk again. I know the fear, the shame, the hopelessness. His voice grows stronger. But I also know what it feels like to take that first step, to prove everyone wrong, to discover you are stronger than you thought. The room is silent. Parents wipe their eyes. Children stare at Matteo with wonder. Eleanor's breath caught. This is why we built this place. So children like Emma can see children like Matteo and believe. The first weeks are chaotic. Therapists arrive from across the country. Donated equipment fills the storage rooms. Every day brings new challenges, scheduling conflicts, insurance paperwork, staff training. I work 16-hour days trying to keep everything organized, but I also work with the children. Every afternoon I lead a group session. We read stories about courage and perseverance. We practice visualization exercises. We pray together when families consent. And slowly progress begins to show. Emma takes her first assisted step in week 2. A boy named Marcus walks 5 steps with his walker in week 3. Sarah, a girl with spina bifida, moves her toes for the first time in years. Small victories, but they accumulate like drops of water filling a basin. Vincent visits daily. He walks through the hallways greeting families. His presence is no longer intimidating. He is transformed into something gentler, something humble. Parents approach him without fear. Children hug him without hesitation. One afternoon, I find him sitting alone in the chapel. Yes, we included a chapel, a quiet space for prayer and reflection. Vincent's head is bowed. His hands are folded. "Vincent?" I say softly. He looks up. His eyes are wet. "I never thought I would find peace, Eleanor. I thought my past defined me forever. But this place..." His voice breaks. "This place is redemption." I sit beside him. "You built this, you chose this." "No, you built this, I just provided the bricks." Something shifted in his expression. "You showed me what my wealth could actually accomplish. Not power, not control, but healing." We sit in comfortable silence. The afternoon light filters through the stained glass windows. Outside, I hear children laughing. The sound is pure and joyful. Eleanor felt gratitude wash over her. This is what miracles sound like. Not trumpets and thunder, but laughter. Simple, honest laughter. By October, I return to teaching at St. Agnes 3 days a week. The other 2 days, I work at the center. It is exhausting, but I refuse to choose between my callings. The children at St. Agnes need me. The children at the center need me. So I split myself between both worlds. My classroom at St. Agnes has changed. Principal Lawrence approved renovations, wider doorways, adjustable desks, sensory-friendly lighting. 3 children with disabilities join my class. They are welcomed warmly by their peers. Tommy Sullivan, once a bully, now helps push wheelchairs during recess. "Miss Brooks," he says one afternoon, "I'm sorry for how I treated Matteo, for how I treated everyone." Eleanor felt her heart warm. "Tommy, what changed?" "I watched the video, the one where you didn't give up on him." His jaw tightens. "I want to be like that, someone who doesn't give up." I hug him gently. "You already are, Tommy. You already are." November brings the first major success story. Emma walks 15 steps without assistance. Her mother sobs in the observation room. Vincent and I watch through the glass. Matteo stands beside Emma, encouraging her with every step. "You can do it, Emma. One more." She takes another trembling step, then another. Her face is bright with determination. When she finally stops, the entire therapy room erupts in applause. Emma's mother rushes in and sweeps her daughter into her arms. That evening, the local news runs a story about Emma's progress. The reporter interviews her mother. "This center saved my daughter's life. Not just her ability to walk, but her hope, her joy, everything." The story goes viral. Donations flood in from across the country. Families from other states request admission. The waiting list grows to over 200 names. Vincent and I sit in his office reviewing applications. "We need to expand," he says firmly. "Build a second building, hire more staff." "Vincent, we just opened. We need to stabilize first." "There are 200 children waiting." His eyes are intense. 200 families desperate for hope. "We cannot make them wait years." Eleanor felt torn. He is right, but rushing could compromise quality. We debate for hours. Finally, I agree to a gradual expansion. 5 new staff members by January. A second building by next fall. As I leave his office, Vincent calls after me. "Eleanor, thank you for keeping me grounded, for reminding me that bigger is not always better." I smile. "You're learning. I have a good teacher." December brings the holidays. The center transforms into a winter wonderland. Decorations fill every hallway. A massive Christmas tree stands in the lobby. Families gather for a holiday celebration. Children perform a short program, songs and poems about hope and gratitude. Matteo recites a poem he wrote himself. His voice is clear and strong. I used to think that walking was a gift only some receive, but now I know that walking starts when hearts decide to believe. My teacher taught me courage. My father taught me grace. And together they have shown me how to find my rightful place. The audience applauds wildly. Eleanor's breath caught. This child who once could not speak now inspires hundreds with his words. Maria films the entire performance. Tears stream down her face. After the program, families exchange small gifts. Parents share their children's progress stories. Laughter and conversation fill the building. I stand in the corner watching it all. My heart feels full, almost painfully full. Vincent approaches with 2 cups of hot chocolate. He hands me one. You look contemplative. I'm just grateful. My voice is thick with emotion. A year ago, I was struggling to pay rent, doubting whether I made any difference at all. And now you've changed dozens of lives. His voice is gentle, including mine. We clink our cups together. Something shifted between us over these months. We are no longer just teacher and parent. We are partners, friends, family. Matteo joins us, slightly out of breath from performing. Did you like my poem, Miss Brooks? It was perfect, I say honestly, just like you. He grins and hugs me tightly. I close my eyes and hold him. Eleanor felt peace settle over her. This is what success looks like. Not awards or recognition, but moments like this, pure and true and filled with love. January brings bitter cold and new challenges. A child named David arrives at the center. He is 12 years old, paralyzed from the waist down after a car accident. But unlike Matteo, David's paralysis is permanent. No amount of faith or therapy will make him walk again. His mother pulls me aside during intake. Her voice is desperate. Can you help him? Can you make him walk like you did with Matteo Russo? My chest tightens. Mrs. Peterson, David's injury is different. His spinal cord is severed. Walking may not be possible. But miracles happen here. Tears stream down her face. Everyone says so. Please, just try. I realize then the burden of our success. People expect miracles now. They believe we can fix anything. But some things cannot be fixed, only accepted and adapted to. That evening I speak with David privately. He sits in his wheelchair staring out the window. His face is hard and angry. I know why I'm here, he says flatly. My mom thinks you'll make me walk, but you won't, because I can't. Eleanor felt her heart break. You're right. You may never walk again, David, and I won't lie to you about that. He looks at me with surprise. Then why am I here? Because walking is not the only miracle. I kneel beside his wheelchair. You can still have a full life, a joyful life, a life worth living. How? His voice cracks. I'm broken. No, you're changed. There's a difference. I take his hand gently. Let me show you what changed looks like, instead of what broken feels like. Over the next weeks, I work closely with David. We focus on wheelchair skills, upper body strength, adaptive sports. I introduce him to other children with permanent disabilities. They play basketball, they race, they laugh. Slowly, David's anger softens. He begins to smile. One afternoon, he beats Matteo in a wheelchair race. Both boys are laughing and trash-talking. Watching them, I realize something profound. Miracles are not always about restoration. Sometimes they are about transformation, about finding joy in new circumstances, about refusing to let limitations define worth. David's mother thanks me with tears in her eyes. I wanted him to walk, but you taught him something better. You taught him to live. Eleanor's breath caught. This is the real work, not creating viral videos or inspiring headlines, but walking beside people through their darkest valleys and showing them light still exists. February brings Valentine's Day. The children make cards for each other. Emma gives one to Matteo. It has a heart and the words, "Thank you for teaching me to be brave." Matteo blushes and shows it to everyone. That evening, Vincent invites me to dinner at the mansion. Just the 3 of us. Maria is visiting her daughter in California. The house feels quieter than usual, almost intimate. We eat in the garden despite the cold. Outdoor heaters keep us warm. Stars shine overhead. Matteo tells stories about the center, about David and Emma and all his new friends. His voice is animated and joyful. After dinner, Matteo excuses himself to practice piano. Vincent and I remain at the table. The silence stretches comfortably between us. "Eleanor," Vincent says finally, "I need to ask you something." My stomach flutters nervously. "What is it?" "Would you consider becoming the permanent director of the center? Not just a consultant, but the leader, full-time." I stare at him in shock. Vincent, I'm a teacher, not an administrator. You're more than a teacher. You're a visionary. Every decision you make is guided by compassion and wisdom. His eyes find mine. The center needs you. I need you. Please. Eleanor felt torn. Teaching at St. Agnes grounds me. Those children depend on me. But the center is growing. It needs consistent leadership, and I cannot be in two places at once. Can I think about it? I ask. Of course. Take all the time you need. But that night, I cannot sleep. I pray for guidance. I call Pastor John. He listens patiently as I explain my dilemma. Eleanor, child, what does your heart say? It says both. I want to do both. Then perhaps that is your answer. His voice is gentle. Perhaps you are meant to build a bridge between both worlds, to train other teachers in your methods, to multiply yourself. His words resonate deeply. Eleanor felt clarity dawn. I do not have to choose. I can do both, but differently, by empowering others to carry the same mission. The next morning I tell Vincent my decision. I will become director, but I will continue teaching 1 day per week at St. Agnes, and I will train teachers from other schools in our methods. So this work spreads beyond these walls. Vincent's smile is brilliant. Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Spring arrives with warmth and renewal. The center celebrates 6 months of operation. 43 children have shown significant improvement. 5 have returned to regular physical activities. Dozens more have gained confidence and hope. The waiting list continues to grow. We hire 10 new staff members. I implement a training program for visiting teachers. Every month, educators from across the region come to observe our methods. They leave with resources and inspiration. The mission multiplies. One Saturday morning in April, I arrive at the center early. I find Matteo already there. He is in the therapy room with David. They are practicing wheelchair basketball together. But then I see something extraordinary. Matteo is in a wheelchair too, not because he needs it, but because he wants David to have a fair competition. They race back and forth, laughing, sweating, completely equal in this moment. Eleanor's breath caught. This is what compassion looks like, choosing to meet someone where they are, not forcing them to meet you where you are. After their game, I pull Matteo aside. That was beautiful, what you did for David. He's my friend. Matteo shrugs. Friends make things equal. His simple wisdom brings tears to my eyes. This child who once sat alone in the back of my classroom now leads others toward healing, not through pity, but through genuine friendship and understanding. May brings the 1-year anniversary of Matteo's fall at the school assembly, the video that went viral, the moment that changed everything. Vincent suggests we commemorate the day with a special ceremony. Let's show the world how far we've come, he says. We organize an outdoor celebration at the center. Families gather on the lawn. Media representatives are invited. But this time, the focus is not on one child. It is on all of them. On the collective miracle of community and perseverance. Children take turns sharing their stories. Emma walks across a small stage unaided. David performs tricks in his wheelchair. Sarah stands with leg braces and waves to the crowd. Each story is unique. Each journey is sacred. Then Matteo steps forward. He addresses the audience with confidence. 1 year ago, I fell in front of everyone. People laughed. It was the worst day of my life. But it was also the beginning of the best year of my life. He pauses. His eyes find mine in the crowd. Because one person refused to let me give up. Miss Brooks taught me that falling is not failing. Giving up is failing. And she never let me give up. Not even once. The crowd applauds. Matteo gestures for me to join him. Eleanor felt her legs tremble. But I walk forward. He takes my hand and holds it high. This is what a real hero looks like, he says. Not someone who saves you, but someone who helps you save yourself. The applause swells. Vincent joins us on stage, then Emma, then David, then every child we have worked with. We stand together in a line, a living testimony to hope and healing. I look at their faces, each one shining with life, with purpose, with joy, and I realize something profound. I did not save them. We saved each other. Because that is how miracles work, not individually, but collectively, through love shared and multiplied. Summer brings new beginnings. I officially resign from full-time teaching at St. Agnes. The decision is bittersweet, but I know it is right. I will return 1 day per week to teach a special seminar, but my primary focus is now the center. Principal Lawrence hosts a farewell gathering. Teachers share stories and memories. Students make cards. Mrs. Henderson gives a speech. Eleanor Brooks came to us as a teacher, but she leaves as a legend. She showed us what courage looks like, what faith looks like, what love looks like. Eleanor felt tears sting her eyes. Thank you, all of you, for believing in me, even when I doubted myself. Tommy Sullivan approaches with a card. Inside, he has written, "Thank you for teaching me that strong people lift others up, not knock them down. I want to be strong like you." I hug him tightly. You already are, Tommy. You already are. 6 months later, I stand in my new office at the center. It is modest but comfortable. A desk, bookshelves, windows overlooking the therapy room, photos of the children line the walls. Each face is precious. Each story is a miracle. My life has changed in ways I never imagined. I'm no longer struggling financially. Vincent pays me well. But more than that, I wake each morning with purpose, with certainty that I am exactly where I belong. The center has expanded. A second building is under construction. We now serve 120 children. Staff has grown to 45 people. And our methods are being adopted by rehabilitation centers across the country. But the real miracle is not the numbers. It is the faces. Emma running on the playground. David competing in wheelchair basketball tournaments. Sarah dancing at her school talent show. Matteo teaching new children that hope is always possible. One evening, Vincent knocks on my office door. His face is serious. "Eleanor, can we talk?" "Of course. Come in." He sits across from my desk. His hands are folded. His jaw tightens. Something shifted in his expression. Nervousness, which is unusual for Vincent. "I've been thinking about the future," he begins. "About legacy. About what really matters." "Okay," I say carefully. "This center will continue long after I'm gone, but I want to ensure it stays true to its mission. To your mission." He pulls out a folder. "I'm establishing a foundation, an endowment that will fund the center in perpetuity, but I want you on the board, as co-founder, equal partner." My breath catches. "Vincent, I don't know anything about running a foundation. You know what matters. You know the heart behind this work." His eyes find mine. "I trust you completely. Will you do this?" Eleanor felt overwhelmed, but I also feel certain. "Yes, I will." We shake hands. Then he pulls me into a hug. It is brief but meaningful. When we separate, his eyes are wet. "Thank you, Eleanor, for saving my son, for saving me, for showing me that redemption is always possible." "We saved each other," I whisper. "That's how it works." December arrives again. The center celebrates its first full year. A gala is planned. Donors and supporters are invited. But I insist on something simple too. A gathering just for the children and families. No cameras, no speeches, just celebration. We transform the therapy room into a party space. Decorations hang from every surface. A table overflows with food. Music plays softly. Children dance and play games. Parents talk and laugh together. The room feels alive with joy. Matteo approaches me with something behind his back. "Miss Brooks, I made you something." He reveals a wooden plaque. It is beautifully carved. The words read, "Faith is taking the first step even when you cannot see the whole staircase. Martin Luther King Jr." Below the quote, he has added his own words. "Thank you for taking that first step with me. Love, Matteo." Eleanor's breath caught. Tears stream down my face. I pull him into a tight hug. "Matteo, this is the most beautiful gift I've ever received. You deserve it." His voice is muffled against my shoulder. "You deserve everything." We stand like that for a long moment. Around us, the party continues. Laughter, music, life. This is what redemption sounds like. Not silence, but celebration. Not endings, but new beginnings. That night, I return to my apartment. It is small but cozy now. I have been able to afford some updates. New furniture, fresh paint, but the most important addition is on my wall. The plaque from Matteo hangs above my desk. I sit in my reading chair and open my grandmother's Bible. The pages are worn and soft. Her handwriting fills the margins. I find the passage she circled in red ink. "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Eleanor felt peace settle over me. Grandmother was right. Strength does not come from ourselves. It comes from faith, from love, from refusing to quit even when the world says we should. I think about the past 18 months, the struggles, the victories, the moments of despair, and the moments of triumph. Every step led me here, to this place of purpose and peace. My phone buzzes. A text from Vincent. "Thank you for everything. You changed our lives. Sleep well." I smile and respond. "No, we changed each other's lives." That's how miracles work. I close my phone and return to the Bible. I read until my eyes grow heavy. Then I pray. Not for anything specific, just gratitude. Deep, overwhelming gratitude for the journey, for the people, for the privilege of witnessing transformation. Outside my window, snow begins to fall, soft and silent. The world feels clean and new. And in this moment I know with absolute certainty, I am exactly where I belong. Eleanor felt complete, not because everything is perfect, but because I have learned that perfection is not the goal. Love is the goal, and love has been the guide all along. Epilogue. I stand at the window of my office watching children arrive for morning therapy. The sight never grows old. Parents pushing wheelchairs, children walking with crutches, each one carrying hope through our doors. 2 years have passed since that first day in Vincent's study. 2 years since I chose to believe that one teacher could make a difference. Looking back now, I see God's hand in every moment. The struggles that shaped me, the failures that taught me, the victories that sustained me. I think often of my grandmother, how she believed in miracles even when the world said they were impossible. She would be proud of this work, proud of the children we serve, proud of the lives we touch. 6 months later, I marry in a small ceremony at the center's chapel. The man is not Vincent. He is James, a physical therapist who joined our staff last spring, gentle and kind, a man of faith who shares my vision. Vincent walks me down the aisle. Matteo serves as ring-bearer. The children fill the pews with laughter and joy. "Do you take this woman?" the pastor asks. "I do," James says. His voice is steady and sure. When we kiss, the children cheer. Eleanor felt complete. Not because I found romance, but because I found partnership. Someone to walk beside me in this sacred work. Life settles into a beautiful rhythm. James and I buy a small house near the center. We paint the walls yellow and plant flowers in the garden. Every morning we have coffee together on the porch. We pray before heading to work. We dream about the future. The center continues to grow. We now serve 200 children annually. Our methods have been adopted by 30 facilities nationwide. Teachers visit monthly to learn and observe. The mission multiplies daily. Vincent has become a different man entirely. He volunteers at the center 3 days per week. He pushes wheelchairs. He encourages struggling children. He shares his story openly, from mob boss to redemption, from fear to love. His transformation inspires everyone who meets him. Matteo is now 13 years old. He runs track at his middle school. He tutors younger children at the center. He speaks at conferences about disability and hope. His confidence is extraordinary. His compassion is boundless. One Saturday afternoon, I find him sitting with a new child, a girl named Lily. She is 8 years old and recently paralyzed. She sits in her wheelchair crying. Matteo kneels beside her. "I know it's scary," he says gently. "I was scared too, but you're going to be okay. Better than okay. You're going to be strong." "How do you know?" Lily asks through tears. "Because you're here, and people here don't give up." He takes her hand. "I promise. You're not alone." I watch from the doorway. Eleanor's breath caught. This is legacy, not buildings or awards, but compassion passed from one heart to another, generation after generation, miracle after miracle. That evening, James and I host dinner at our home. Vincent and Matteo join us. Maria flies in from California with her family. We crowd around our small dining table. It is loud and chaotic and perfect. After dinner, Matteo asks to play something on our piano. James bought it as a surprise for my birthday. Matteo sits at the bench. His fingers hover over the keys. Then he plays his mother's song, the one she used to sing in the kitchen. Everyone falls silent. The melody fills our small house, sweet and sad and hopeful. When he finishes, tears shine in Vincent's eyes. He stands and places his hand on Matteo's shoulder. "She would be so proud of," Vincent whispers. "So incredibly proud." "I know," Matteo says softly, "because I'm proud of me too." We sit together long after the music ends, talking, laughing, remembering. The evening light fades to darkness. Candles flicker on the table. The room feels warm and safe. Eleanor felt gratitude overwhelm her. This is family, not by blood, but by choice, by love, by walking through fire together and emerging stronger. Later that night, after everyone leaves, James and I sit on our porch. The stars are bright overhead. The neighborhood is quiet. He takes my hand gently. "Do you ever regret it?" he asks. "Walking away from normal teaching? From the simple life?" "Never," I say honestly. This is the simple life. Love, service, purpose. What could be simpler than that? He smiles and kisses my forehead. You're remarkable, you know that? I'm just a teacher who believed. No, you're a woman who changed the world, one child at a time. We sit in comfortable silence. A breeze rustles the trees. Somewhere nearby, a dog barks. The ordinary sounds of life continue around us. But I know nothing about my life is ordinary anymore. It is extraordinary, blessed, sacred. I think about Eleanor Brooks from 2 years ago, struggling to pay rent, doubting her purpose, afraid of failure. She seems like a stranger now, because I am no longer that woman. I have been transformed by the same faith I taught others to embrace. The journey has not been easy. There were moments of despair, moments when I wanted to quit, moments when the world seemed too broken to fix. But I learned something profound. You do not have to fix the whole world. You just have to love the person in front of you, and then the next person, and the next. Miracles are not sudden explosions of divine intervention. They are daily choices, small acts of kindness, persistent refusal to give up. They are messy and hard and beautiful, and they are always possible. On Sunday morning, James and I attend Pastor John's church. The congregation has grown to know our story. They pray for the center regularly. They volunteer their time. They donate resources. We are not alone in this work. We are surrounded by an army of believers. After the service, Pastor John pulls me aside. He is 75 now. His hair is completely white. His movements are slower, but his eyes still shine with wisdom and love. Eleanor, I wanted to tell you something. His voice is gentle. Your grandmother visited me in a dream last night. My breath catches. What did she say? She said, "Tell my Eleanor I'm proud. Tell her she has done what I prayed she would do. She has become a light." Tears stream down his weathered face. And you have, child. You are a light in this dark world. Eleanor felt tears sting her eyes. Thank you, Pastor, for believing in me, for guiding me. I only pointed the way. You walked the path. He squeezes my hand. Now continue walking. There are so many more children waiting for your light. Monday morning arrives with crisp autumn air. I drive to the center with my coffee and my Bible. The building stands proud against the blue sky. Children are already arriving. I see Emma running toward the entrance, David racing his wheelchair, Sarah practicing with her walker. Mateo waves from the doorway. He volunteers every Monday before school. Good morning, Miss Brooks. Ready for another week of miracles? I laugh. Always. We walk inside together. The lobby is filled with families. Staff members greet everyone warmly. The therapy rooms buzz with activity. Physical therapists guide children through exercises. Teachers lead reading groups. Counselors provide emotional support. Every person here is essential. Every role is sacred. I head to my office to prepare for a morning meeting, but I stop at the mural first. The image of a child learning to walk. The teacher standing behind with gentle hands. I touch the painted surface gently. Thank you, I whisper, to God. To my grandmother, to everyone who made this possible. My phone buzzes. A message from a mother in Texas. Her daughter was just diagnosed with a spinal injury. She is asking for advice, for hope, for prayers. I respond immediately with encouragement and resources. Then I forward her information to our admissions team. Another message arrives. A teacher in Oregon wants to visit and learn our methods. Then another from a donor in New York offering financial support. The emails continue. Each one represents a life, a family, a story waiting to unfold. Eleanor's breath caught. This is bigger than me now. It has become a movement, a testament to what happens when one person refuses to accept defeat, when one teacher decides to believe. At noon, I join James in the therapy room. We work together with a new child named Michael. He is 9 years old and recently lost his ability to walk due to illness. His face is angry and closed. He refuses to try. I can't do this, he says flatly. Not yet, I correct gently. But you will. How do you know? I point across the room. Mateo is there working with Lily, both of them laughing, both of them walking, because they did it, and so can you. Michael watches them skeptically, but something shifts in his eyes, a tiny spark, hope beginning to kindle. James and I exchange glances. We both recognize that look. It is the beginning of transformation. We work with Michael for an hour. Gentle exercises, encouragement, patience. By the end of the session, he has moved his toes, just barely. But it is movement. It is progress. It is the first step. Did you see that? Michael's voice is excited. I moved them. You did. James's voice is warm. That's amazing, Michael. Can I try again tomorrow? Eleanor felt joy flood through me. Of course, we're here every day, ready whenever you are. As Michael leaves with his parents, I see hope on their faces. The same hope I saw in Vincent's eyes 2 years ago. The same hope that has sustained us all through this journey. Hope that refuses to die. Hope that always believes. That evening, I sit at my desk journaling. It has become a nightly ritual, recording the victories, the struggles, the prayers answered and those still waiting. I write about Michael's toes moving, about Emma's laughter, about David's friendship with Matteo, about the way love multiplies when shared freely. The sun sets outside my window. Golden light fills my office. I hear children's voices fading as families head home. The building grows quiet, but not empty. Never empty, because these walls hold something eternal. Faith, hope, love, the 3 things that endure. My phone buzzes one final time. A text from Matteo. Thank you for never giving up on me. I love you, Miss Brooks. I respond immediately. I love you too. So proud of the man you're becoming. I close my phone and look around my office. Photos of children cover every surface. Drawings they have made for me. Cards expressing gratitude. Awards we have won. But the most precious item is still the plaque Matteo carved. The words that guide everything I do. Faith is taking the first step even when you cannot see the whole staircase. Eleanor felt peace settle over her completely. I took that first step 2 years ago, into Vincent's study, into Matteo's pain, into the unknown. I could not see the staircase, but I trusted God would provide each step as needed, and He did, 1 step at a time, 1 child at a time, 1 miracle at a time. I turn off my office light and head toward the exit. The hallway is dim and quiet. My footsteps echo softly. As I reach the front door, I pause. I turn back and look at the lobby, at the mural, at the mission statement engraved on the wall. Where faith meets action, miracles are born. I smile, because I know it is true. I have witnessed it daily. I have lived it, and I will continue living it for as long as God gives me breath. I step outside into the cool evening air. Stars begin to appear overhead. The world continues spinning, but I am grounded, rooted, certain. This is my calling, this is my purpose, this is my joy. Eleanor felt complete, not because the work is finished, but because I know I am exactly where I belong, doing exactly what I was created to do. I look up at the stars and whisper one final prayer. Thank you for everything, for trusting me with this sacred work, for showing me that faith really does move mountains, 1 step at a time. Then I walk to my car. I drive home to James, to our small yellow house, to our simple, beautiful life. Tomorrow will bring new challenges, new children, new miracles waiting to unfold. But tonight, I rest, in peace, in gratitude, in love. She smiled. Everything was finally at peace.